Greetings, YouTube. I just got done playing at my local's ranked points event that we do down here in Southern California, SoCal as they call it. Locals called Tubby's. Pretty competitive place down here. A lot of good players. Only 4 of us actually were able to make it to the finals though. So we did end up doing a round robin. I went 0-2. But I'm bringing you to this deck list because 1, it's pretty interesting. 2, it was extremely fun. 3, I think it has a lot of potential for the future. So please leave any comments for any suggestions that you think you would make changing the list. I think it's almost there. So it is a fairy frog list. I'm going to start out with the traps. I chose fairy frogs because they're 2 of my favorite archetypes. I think Christia into with access to Substo, Treeborn Frog, things of that nature, just way too good to access. You know, you have all the best hand traps, things of that nature. So, you know, starting here, we have 2 Raigeki Breaks, Torrent, Mirror Force, Trap Dust Shoot. Pretty standard for a frog trap lineup. I think if anything, honestly, because recruiters do block things of that nature, I actually didn't want to run Mirror Force in this list. But I just kept it because it's Mirror Force and it's generally just a really good card. I think moving forward, not that Mirror Force was bad, but I think I'd rather this be an enemy controller, a second enemy controller, and then side the Mirror Force for potential like Fossil Dynas or Vanity's Fiend or anything of that nature. So going into the spells, I run 1 Econ, we'll just go 1 Soul Exchange, 1 Brain Control, 1 MST, 1 Heavy, 1 for 1. So, again, pretty standard. The reason I actually split between Econ and Soul Exchange. So, Econ is pretty important just because it helps having the double monsters because, you know, Noble Summon Christia is just like a plus that this deck has. In a normal fairy deck or a Lightsworn fairy deck, usually if you hit more than, I don't know, 5 fairies in the grave, you're just like, well, I guess Christia's turn off for the rest of the game. Here, you have the options to Econ Seal thing. So the reason I went 1 Econ, 1 Soul Exchange is just for the availability to, you know, take face-up monsters if I'm able to, or just to hit the face-down monsters, which this did come up a decent amount, I guess. Again, I went 0-2 because we just did a round robin, not a round robin, is it round robin? I don't know what they call it, but basically you play 2 matches and then you only have 2 lives. If you lose 2 lives, you're out. And I'll leave it at this. My opponent's good players, but if I lose to Brain Control, Dark Arm Dragon, Future Fusion, Miracle Fusion combos, next time I play Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'm probably just going to quit the game. And I will stop there. Certainly, I made a lot of misplays. I know one game I opened up, I had MST and Heavy Storm and a Dupe Frog. I didn't set the MST because I wanted to get off Big Heavy Storm the following turn because I also had Soul Exchange and I think Christia. I knew I'd be able to make a big play with that. And then my opponent turned 1 Future Fusion. So that was, you know, that was a kick while I was down. But overall, this was really good. Like I said, I think I would make the Mirror Force another enemy controller. Moving forward. So that's my first check. Now, here's going to be the interesting part. The monsters. We'll just start with a 3 sub, 3 frog, 3 swap, or 2 swap. Again, the reason I run 2 swap is just because you only need 2 to be able to send the additional substitutes. Yeah, it is nice to get off the Treeborn really early, but I think this is more than enough to get an early Treeborn. And 2 dupes. So that's it for the actual frogs. 1 Battle Fader. This is a card that actually I wish I may have had like 2, if not even 3 of. Very often I found myself sitting on, you know, like a dupe block or something like that. And just because of the matchups, all it took was, you know, it's a simple Caius, Brio, or whatever. And then I get OTK'd. And then Fader actually saved me 3 times, something like that from getting OTK'd. And it's a card that I just wish I had more of. Maybe 1 was actually just the right number and I saw it the right amount. But 2 of them, I wouldn't mind. What I'd take out, I don't know. 1 Junk Sync run. Card was incredible. I wouldn't run more than 1, but it is nice to have 1. Triple Caius. So in the 5 games I played, again, I only got 2 matches, played 5 games. I did not see this card 1 time. I did not see Brain Control 1 time. So that was frustrating when you don't see one of the best cards in your entire deck for 5 games straight. Gores is Gores. I don't think I saw it. But now we're going into the fairies. So I'm going to start with this. I play 3 Nova Summoner, 1 Shining Angel. So typically you see 3 Shining Angel, 1 Nova Summoner. I think it's important to keep the 4 of because you can just crash and then Christian's instantly live, right? So the reason I play 3 Nova instead of Shining Angel because I only have fairies in this list. I don't run DD Warrior Lady. Therefore, Nova Summoner in every way, shape, and form, because they can special summon in defense, is strictly better than Shining Angel. And I really like this ratio. You know, I drew them just as much as I wanted to. I never overdrew recruiters. I think there was one time I saw 2 recruiters. It didn't hurt me at all, but I drew them just as much. I think between, my ratios with recruiters, those recruiters and these, there's never a time, maybe one time in all the games I played, where I just did not have like a good early gameplay, whether it be, having a recruiter on the field or access a Treeborn Frog or an early dupe block or anything of that nature. I don't think it happened once. I run 2 Alchemist, so I would be down to swap an Alchemist for, I don't know, like another Shining Angel or something. Kind of anything. I don't want to make it a non-fairy card, so maybe even like a Marshmallow would be cool. But I like Alchemist just for its aggressive nature. It does let me recycle, obviously, the Treeborn Frogs, which are big targets, for DD Crows things or whatever like that. And just because of how many monsters I have, it almost always hits. Being able to recycle like Christias, things of that nature, pretty big. So I think I did like the 2 of them. And there was just never a time where I had too many Alchemists, you know what I'm saying? So I do need to keep the fairy count at what it is just to make the Heralds live. But 2 Alchemists was good. 2 Honest, just possibly the best fairy card. One of the most broken cards of the deck. 3 Heralds, again. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 fairies, including the Heralds and also including the 3 Christias. So Heralds, I sided them out a pretty decent amount. I played a Hero Beat and then a Plant Zombie deck. I probably could have kept them in against Plant Zombies, but my matchup against Plant Zombies, I lost game 3 because he had Brain Control. I had Christy on field. His entire hand was dead. And then he had Brain Control and top-decked Vanity's Fiend. And because of my deck, I couldn't out the Vanity's Fiend. I had to wait a turn to get off a pretty good turn for Tribute. But by that time, I was at 3,200 life points. And then he Foolish Plague, had the Dad in hand, Special Summon Plague, and just attacked for game. So that was very unfortunate. And then we have 3 Christia. So, again, I would not run any less than 3 Christia because, you're running the Frog Engine. So, several times. I had Christia almost every single game. I don't know if there was a time where Christia was not dead or was not live. There's always the opportunity to normal summon it or special summon it, which I did both of them several times. I definitely made huge misplays. I know one time they had 3 back rows and I had Heavy Storm in hand, and I summoned Christia first because I was trying to play around, like a potential, and I normal summoned it, right? So I had to have the sacrificial fodder. I was trying to play around a potential, like Starlight Road because I knew the guy played Starlight Road and I used Heavy Storm. He didn't have Starlight Road. He just set 3 back row and just had no fear of anything. That's not the play that ended up losing me the game because I still got huge plus off the Heavy Storm after the Christie was gone. But like I said, didn't set the MST. A few other plays that I probably could have changed to make some things fall in my favor. But what was concerning is the amount of times I drew double Christia. I played 3 copies. And I think in the 5 games I played, 3 of the games I opened up double Christia, which was sad for sure. Really unlucky. But overall, again, the list played extremely well. If you guys have any suggestions or things that you would change, please let me know. Maybe Dimensional Alchemist can be something else. Again, it gets to recycle Battle Fader too. Recycle Treeborns when they get banished. Like I said, I think I'd swap move Mirror Force to the side and then main deck a second enemy controller, which also is, just generally a good card, but helps with Christia summons, things of that nature. But, I'll probably throw this on and do some real videos with it because I really enjoyed this deck. I've been trying for a long time to make some fairy frog decks work, and this was my hands just looked really good. They felt good. Again, Brain Control, Future Fusion, Dark Arm Dragon, Miracle Fusion, really good cards. Really, really good cards. But hey, that's the way the game plays. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and bye.